Hi everybody, let's take a quick look at Wave on a String simulation. As I'm reviewing some work, I'm finding there's some areas that I think are a little confusing for folks. So we're going to set this to oscillate, and we can see that this is a piston up and down, and over here is, I would call that a vise. So what we're going to do is the damper is set between 10 and 20, so I've set mine at 17. Check out the green reference points. Now, whenever you can, let's take a look at, let's pause for a second. This doesn't let us make it any slower. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on this green right here. And what is it doing? That's one of the questions. So if over here where the piston is, it's like, oh my gosh, all I can see are 12 lines of red dots. Go over here, and then the line here is to help you see, are things increasing or decreasing vertically or horizontally? Okay, if we change the frequency like it asks us to, we can slow it down. Because frequency is really what it sounds like. How frequently is a wave coming by? So we're going to set it to, it says between 10 and 20. Well, I'm going to set it to 17 again. Reminder, wavelength is horizontal. So we were back here, and we changed it so there were fewer, less frequent waves. What's happened to the wavelength? It has to be above 10 to really get a wavelength going. Wavelength is horizontal. Some folks are sort of mixing this up. The length of this wave goes from the piston here over to about this green dot here. What was it before, longer or shorter? Shorter. Amplitude, I'm going to make this, well, a little bit faster. No, I'm not. Amplitude is vertical. How tall are the waves? So when you hear the surfing report, 4 to 6 foot waves, 2 to 3 foot waves, they're talking about the amplitude of the waves. So when I increase the amplitude, notice the vertical is increasing. Is the horizontal? That's one of the questions, like number 5. Does changing the amplitude have any effect on the wavelength? So bring it way down. Now vertical, does it change the wavelength at all? Okay. If you're having trouble visualizing this, all I did was I went on Google and I typed in relationship between amplitude and wavelength, and then clicked on images. And so this should help you out a lot. Remember, amplitude is the vertical, and then wavelength is described there. Frequency is what really affects the wavelength. So think about this as you're looking at the simulation.